Hello everyone, and welcome to Brotherhood of Dan. We've stopped counting the numbers because we're successful now.
Oh, we are big time, mate. Big time.
Big thank you to everyone for subscribing. We passed 1,000 3 days ago, and today we're 1,200 subscribers. So thank you so much. And the fact you're watching this means that you have lasted longer than the heckle we got the other day.
We did get heckled.
Politely?
Oh, it's very polite.
It was very polite.
You'd better stick to football. And that came from a Michel Francoise with his 3 subscribers. That's a very salient point he makes.
To be fair, he's got 3 more subscribers than I do on YouTube because I don't actually have a YouTube account.
This is your YouTube account, Dan.
This is my YouTube account.
This is your YouTube account.
I do lurk at the comments, so I have to admit.
Very quickly, don't forget to like and subscribe. Buy the merch. Let's get down to the business of reacting to Eurovision songs. What country is it today, Dan?
It is Malta.
Oh, famous Maltese footballers.
I've got one.
Does it begin with J?
No.
All right, who is it?
Michael Mancienne.
Michael Mancienne?
Michael Mancienne.
He's Maltese?
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
no, not Michael Mancienne.
I was going to say.
Michael Misford. Michael Mancienne was England. Michael Misford. And he scored 2 goals against Manchester United for Coventry City in a League Cup game. And it was the dullest game of football I've ever been at in my life.
Oh.
I hated every second of it.
No reflection on the people of Malta, though. That was just...
Oh, no. And of course, Mighty Super J's, we had the Maltese Falcon, James Brown.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
He was actually from Dover.
Who's your favourite Maltese footballer? Let us know in the comments. Right, that's the football chat over. Let's get straight into Malta. Can't. So that was Mariana Conte. And remember, this is a family show.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that. I mean, that was either a very strange tribute to the 18th century philosopher Immanuel Kant, or...
Is it not?
Well, I mean, it was... I don't really see the connection there with Immanuel Kant. It's a very clever way of saying a word I say at the football an awful lot.
Yes, well, I'd hope not, because
it's a family programme.
It is a family programme. I've already listened to the song, but that was you reacting for the very first time. And to be fair, I mean, everyone's reaction is pretty much the same. Like, what? Okay, so we're over that. Look, this is our thumbnail's going to be us going. And for clickbait, I'm struggling to find, like we do in a lot of episodes, the musical concepts, the analysis of the music. And as everyone knows that's looked into this already, the word can't in Maltese means to sing.
Right.
So that's why they're getting away with it, Dan.
Why did I think that English was the first language of Malta?
Oh, I've not done my research.
I've really not, and this is now showing because when I was at university many moons ago, I was meant to read The Maltese Falcon.
Right.
And I didn't, and it might have had some answers for me. Never even saw the film.
Well, it's definitely a very interesting song, and it's interesting. We'll talk about the BBC in a minute about what they're going to do and get some scores. You know what I think it is? I think it's a very clever way of lexical subversion, Dan. Do you know what that is?
The deliberate use of a word with different connotations across languages to provoke or challenge perceptions.
And that's what the Maltese people have done, Dan. I mean, we're just football fans, so, you know, we're not that intellectually bright.
We should stick to it.
We should. Another thing, alarm bells going, it's kind of what we called at uni phonetic defamiliarization. Did you ever study anything like that?
No, I didn't.
All right. It's basically like when a word sounds shocking in one language, but it's kind of like neutral or ordinary in another, you know, creating a sort of jarring effect for certain listeners.
Yeah, and I mean, what I did learn, and what I think could also be brought into it, is a bit of deliberate polysemy, which is the intentional use of a word with multiple meanings.
Yes.
To play
exactly.
with audience
That was it. Yeah. The intentional use like a word with like it's got more than one meaning, and it's sort of play in like the expectations of the audience. Absolutely. Okay, right. One last big word for you, because we're using our words from uni to try and describe the song because we're struggling for musical words. I guess it's kind of like what I would describe as sort of linguistic Trojan horse. You know, or a sort of like, it's like a lexical shock tactic, if you like.
Yes.
It's using a word that is kind of mundane in one context, but it's so explosive in another to sort of generate discussion, and that's what exactly is happening, Dan.
Well, it has generated discussion in here. I mean, it has been real semantic dissonance, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, we've been waiting so long to use our big words from university, and that was it. We wish we were able to put these. This is the sort of stuff we had to put into our essays.
We really swung and hit that one.
I know, but have any of us done anything with our degrees? Nope, absolutely not.
Nope.
Absolutely not. But for this moment, you guys are welcome. So yeah, no, listen, I guess every Eurovision reaction video, and there are many of them, are saying similar things, all right? There's the shock of it. We all know what's going on. But I guess what we're kind of looking at is what the BBC.
Yeah, because the BBC, and maybe for our sort of listeners from overseas or watchers from overseas, the BBC is obviously a public funded broadcaster. Saying naughty words, although this isn't a naughty word, but saying what could be perceived as naughty words on the BBC is a no-no. Saying that word at all, actually, on the BBC.
On the BBC, I mean, I heard it twice on Channel 4 the other night.
Yeah.
I mean, would they wait and see what time it's out at night? But it's the BBC, so they can't have any of that going on. I guess the complaints would be through the roof compared to the amount of people that complain about the BBC censoring it. The funny thing is, though, 6 or 7 years ago when Ireland portrayed two males dancing, oh my God, in China they censored that. And I laughed at China saying, why are you censoring that? That is ridiculous. And here we are censoring it. You know what it is? It's don't swear in front of your grandma.
It is exactly that.
There we go. We've nailed it.
The thing is, like, you can watch a comedy programme on BBC after Watershed, which is 9 o'clock, generally. And they can say, you get the F word, whatever. But if you're watching the football after, like, 9 o'clock on the BBC, and they pick up in the crowd someone shouting, some expletives, then the commentators have to apologise. I think it's because of like the audience, and it'd be because there'll probably kids watching the football. Yeah. And so Eurovision will fall into the same. It'll fall into the same hat. So yeah, it's gonna be. I'm actually really excited about it. I'm actually really, really excited to see what they do.
Yeah, I know that will be the exciting thing. Yeah, it's a talking point, maybe for the wrong reasons. There's not too much mention about the actual music in that conversation we just had. It's more about the shock tactic and the linguistic transgression we were talking about earlier. But anyway, enough of our big words. We'll not be able to use them again unless something similar comes along. So let's get straight to the scoring, Dan. If you're new to the show, there is a scientific method behind it. We score it out of 10 where we think that the song is going to finish overall. So don't have a go at us. We predict the winners and the second places and the sixth places every year without fail. So you have to respect our scores. Dan, what are you going for? Out of 10 marks, so a 4. So you think just not on the left side of the table, but near the top of the right side?
Yeah, I'm going to say so. I just don't. I don't know. I think it could get some shock votes, but
interesting.
It wasn't particularly great.
No, what you thinking? It was a bog standard song you hear on the radio.
I think it was like a bog standard pop song that you get in the charts. And for sort of me and you growing up, the Pepsi charts. Yeah, you could argue it's quite dated. I think he's on the Iron Brew. I forgot we're still rolling. Mate.
That's okay.
I apologise.
It's all right. We'll use that as the thumbnail. Right. I'm giving it a B.
A B.
A B out of Z. No, it's a 6. It's a 6 out of 10. That means I think it will finish on the left-hand side of the table, but maybe not too far up the table. But we're never wrong, but we could be wrong.
We could be wrong.
That's where we think. That's what we think.
But it's not been known. It's not been known so far.
Very true. Oh, knock.
Who's there?
It's Kev from the football. Kev from the football. Kev from the football.
Kev from the football. Any famous football players from Malta?
Of course, there's James Brown, the most famous of all the Maltese footballers.
Of course, yes. Who can forget that goal he scored?
Yeah.
But more importantly, the song. Tell us about the song.
So the Maltese effort is, I'm usually quite low, and I'm going to have to change it here because it is really, really a fantastic bit of Eurovision, if I can say so. It's catchy, it's a good beat to it, she puts in a lot of effort, and there's even a costume change. What's not to like? I'll give Malta a 9 out of 10.
It's Kev from the football. Kev from the football. Kev from the football.
Thanks, Kev.
Oh man,
what a guy. I think I ruined that joke. I think I'm supposed to say knock and you say who's there, and I say Kev, and you say Kev who, and I say well, right, see next episode we'll get that spot
it
on.
was still Kev. We bought him out of storage for the winter.
We have Kev, what a guy. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to get the merch. And here's Dan with his famous phrase.
Good health and good Eurovision.